Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's well this Wednesday morning. Beautiful morning out there. Just back from a walk around the forest after I dropped Ella to school. And it's really gorgeous out there. It's really cold, so wrap up well, but it is beautiful. Spring is definitely in the air this morning. So I'm jumping on this morning to talk to you about feet, or more specifically, Cozy Feet. So Cozy Feet is a product that I made, one of the first products I made, really with myself in mind. I work part-time in a garden centre, which is quite hectic. I wear big heavy boots all year round, and my feet take quite a bit of battering. And when I'm not in work in the garden centre, I'm at home and I'm running around and I'm out in the garden, and often in the summer in my bare feet. So my feet are probably the least looked after part of my body, and usually the part of my body that's in most need of care. So that's where Cozy Feet came about. So I decided I wanted to make a product that would keep my feet soft. So what we've got here is a little pot of kind of like a butter, a little bit thicker than a butter. The base of it is shea butter, cocoa butter, beeswax, and calendula oil. I make my own calendula oil from flowers that I grow out in the garden, and those are melted down and blended together. So you've got a super moisturizing base for your cream. The beeswax would be almost like a protective layer. It forms a protective layer around your skin when you use it in a product. So it's a really good one for the feet. And if the cocoa butter and shea butter then would be very softening. So any hard skin that you have, it works really well on those. And the calendula oil is amazing. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, really moisturizing, just full of lots of really good stuff. So it's a really good base for the cream. But the magic happens with the essential oils that I use. So it's a blend of cinnamon, ginger, benzoin, and lemon. And just to talk to you for a minute about those oils individually. So cinnamon, the oil that I use in mine is cinnamon leaf oil. You can get cinnamon bark oil and cinnamon leaf oil. Don't ever get cinnamon bark oil to use on your skin. It's way too strong. If you're picking up cinnamon oil, always look for cinnamon leaf oil. And if it doesn't say on the bottle, don't buy it. So cinnamon is a warming oil. If you think about what most people associate the smell of cinnamon with, it's Christmas. And it gives you that warm feeling even just thinking about it. And as an oil, it is a warming oil, really good for digestive problems, really good to build the body back up after illness. It's a very good one to take over the winter time, particularly good for giving to elderly people over the winter. So as a spice, so a spoon of cinnamon on their porridge in the morning, it helps you stay strong over the winter. And it's also very good in the early stages of colds and flus when you're feeling feverish. If you can get a tea blend that has cinnamon in it, it's very good for helping to balance out fevers. And it's a warming oil, so when you're feeling cold and shivery, it's good to help with that as well. But as an oil in foot cream, very warming. Really good with circulation problems. I suffer desperately with cold hands and feet in the winter time, and cinnamon oil is good for helping with circulation. Also really good for muscular aches and pains. So to put it in a foot cream, what it does is it improves your circulation. And if you're on your feet all day, it helps with the aches and pains. What I would often do with this, as well as putting it on my feet, if I've had a particularly long day and my legs are aching, I would massage it up my calves, almost up to my knee, and rub it in to the calves and the muscles in your lower leg. It just helps ease the ache. So that's cinnamon. And then the next oil that's in there is ginger. Ginger, again, is a warming oil. Good for lots of things. You would often hear people of drinking ginger tea when they're feeling unwell. That's because it helps with stomach cramps, colds and flus, that kind of thing. So even if you just slice up some ginger and heat it up in water and drink it as a tea, really good to calm the stomach. Again, to help balance temperature if you're achy and feverish. and it helps with nausea. Lots of pregnant women would be told to eat ginger biscuits because it helps with nausea. And it's also really good, again, like cinnamon, for dealing with rheumatism, arthritis, muscular pain, and fatigue. So the combination of the ginger and cinnamon together, really good for the feet. If you're on your feet all day, it helps to get the circulation going again. It helps with the aches. Just a really good blend together, the cinnamon and ginger. There's also benzoin in there. Benzoin is one of my favorite oils. Actually, it's not an oil, it's a resin. It comes from a tree that grows in Thailand and the surrounding islands. And like frankincense and myrrh, it's been around for thousands of years, but it comes from a resin as opposed to an oil. So they melt down the resin to produce what is essentially called an essential oil, but it's not technically, it's a resin. It's been used for thousands of years in incense and healing skin conditions, and today it's still used for those same things. Smells a little bit vanilla-y. A lot of people wouldn't have ever heard of it, but it smells similar to vanilla, I find. It might be a bit stronger than that, but it's similar to vanilla is how I would describe it. Again, it's a warming oil, but it's also at the same time a stimulating oil and a soothing oil, which is quite unusual. What it tends to do in the body is get things moving. So whether that's clearing out mucus if you're chesty, a bit like I am at the moment, whether it's to stimulate circulation, or also to help with stomach aches, so it expels gas. So it gets things moving in the body. Using it in a foot cream, it's also incredibly healing. So for cuts and scrapes and sores that you might have on your feet, it will actually heal it. Incredible oil, and again, just works really well with the cinnamon and ginger. It's also a really good oil to use in massage blends for people who are feeling depressed or anxious or sad or lonely. Works really well blended with rose, and put in a carrier oil and used as a massage oil. A really lovely oil, and lots of uses for it. It's one of my favorites. I use it in my hardworking hands cream as well because it's super healing. And the last oil that's in that is lemon. I've talked about lemon before in one of my videos. Lemon is a really strong deodorizing essential oil. It's a bactericide, so particularly good to use for a foot lotion, because it will help with people who have a certain pong to their feet. It's really good to help calm that down and help get rid of it. It's also very good to help treating fungal infections in the feet as well. But the main reason I put it in this is for its deodorizing effect. It's also really good if you have lemon essential oil in your house. It's one of those that's probably, if I was to recommend 2 essential oils to have a bottle of in your house, lemon would be one and lavender would be the other. Lemon is good for treating warts, verrucas, corns. You can put it directly onto a verruca or a corn, but you have to be careful to just put it on the infected area and don't put it on the kind of healthy skin around. But you can dab that on morning and evening as long as it takes, and it will get rid of a verruca. I've used it on my daughter's foot, so I'm speaking from experience. It does work. It takes a couple of weeks, but it does work. But lemon is just a really good antibacterial oil to have in the house. I would often put a drop or 2 of it on my cloth to wipe down the counters, clean out the inside of the bin, that sort of thing. It's a really good oil and just finishes the blend that's in that perfectly. So this is a cream that can be used year round, but it's particularly good this time of the year when the feet are wrapped up all the time, or if you're on your feet all the time and they're taking abuse. This is the one that's going to give them some love. I would use it all year round, but as I said, particularly good this time of the year in the winter. It'll get those feet softened up in time for flip-flop season, which I hope is just around the corner. I am going to bring out a foot cream for the summertime. I'm thinking peppermint, something very minty and pepperminty and kind of cooling and fresh. But for the moment, this is the one that I have. And I love it. And it's very, very popular. And customers that buy it tend to keep coming back for it again and again because they find it great. So that's Cozy Feet. So that's it for this morning. Just to mention to you, you might see on the chalkboard behind me, there's a hashtag there, show her she's special. That's something that I'm just using around Mother's Day on my social media. So on my Instagram and my Facebook posts, you'll find that popping up. And if you enter that Show Her She's Special into Facebook or Instagram, it will bring you up all the products that I'm highlighting for Mother's Day, which is just around the corner and one of the most important days of the year. So we all want to show our mummies just how special they are. So have a look at that. I'll put the links to it below, and I'll put the link for my Cozy Feet below as well, so that if you want to take a look at it, you can learn a little bit more about it in my shop. So that's it for this morning. Not sure what I'm going to talk about next week. I'm thinking facial cleansers. But if you have anything in particular that you would like me to talk about, just leave a note below and I will look at it and I will do it and give me some ideas for what to talk about next. But that's it. Have a lovely Wednesday. It's a beautiful day out there. Try and get out for a walk or just a breath of fresh air. And I will talk to you all next week. Bye.